Windows 10 has been out for almost a month now, and I'd like to take a look to see just what the latest operating system by Microsoft is all about and if it's really worth the free upgrade. Here at the login screen, in order to log in, you'll need to have a Microsoft account. If you don't have an account, you can create one or just use a local account. But just remember, by using a local account, you're not going to be able to use a lot of the features in Windows 10. Getting to the desktop, the first noticeable thing that we'll find is the return of the Start menu. Well, sort of. Here is Microsoft's attempt to cater to all those traditional desktop users who wanted a Start menu and all those who embraced Windows 8 and all of its touch-centric features. Most of us really just want our Start menu back, what we've always had. I find the live tiles almost useless for the most part. The Start menu itself seems awkward to me. However, I do believe that it is much improved from Windows 8. In the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little button that you push that brings up a notification menu. This will give you notifications from your Microsoft account. You can expand and collapse some of these features, as well as access to special settings menus and a few other things along the way. If you notice any lag in my video, it's from my screen recorder. The actual performance is very nice. Way up at the top, you can clear the notification menu by clicking on the Clear All button, and it will wipe away all new notifications that you've seen and give you a clean menu. Also in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see a new look to all the traditional menus that you have seen in the past, whether it's volume control, network connection, or power and sleep settings. Next, we'll talk about Cortana. Cortana is Microsoft's alternative to Siri. It uses the internet to search for anything that you're interested in, and you can also control most of the functions with your voice. You'll see there's a very nice menu that pops up, bringing all sorts of information right to your desktop. You can set alarms, you can set reminders, and you can even ask for random facts that you just happen to be curious about. And going over here, let's take a look a bit about some of the more features that we have. We've got a few different things that we can do. We can set up reminders, and because I'm part of the Insider program, I can give feedback on Windows right here. And going all the way back up to the top, you'll see I can have an expanded view of the weather just by clicking right there. It gives me the weekly forecast. Now, one thing I was a little confused about was this just a little farther down. This facts information here. Who is the tallest woman in the world? I thought that I could click on this and it would give me an answer, but I think what it was doing is just showing me the functionality that Cortana can do, and I haven't experimented too much with this. So that's Cortana. I'm going to move on to a few more features and then we'll talk about Cortana a little bit later on. Another new feature in Windows 10 is the virtual desktops. Now this feature looks very polished and new, but it is something that other platforms such as Linux or Mac have had for years. And I'm so thankful that this feature is finally in Windows. It's very useful when trying to multitask. By clicking New Desktop, you can add one or more virtual desktops to create a, and thank you Cortana, to create a wide range of multitasking options. So to show you how this works, I'm going to open a few different programs here, one on my first virtual desktop and the other on my second virtual desktop. And now I'm not really doing anything here other than having a couple of different open windows, but I can switch back and forth by hitting the little virtual desktop icon on the taskbar, and it makes it easy to switch back and forth to get whatever I need done much quicker. And since this is a Windows review, let's take a second to take some updates. Actually, I'm just kidding. This is actually an update for something I'm going to talk about in just a little bit. And now that our updates are finished, let's move on. Okay, getting back to our review, I wanted to open a file explorer here, and I wanted to show you a couple of things that I didn't know about until I took a deeper look into Windows 10. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll see a desktop and downloads icon. You'll see some documents, pictures, and music. And there's not a whole lot of other explanation going on here. But what I found out is that some of these folders actually connect to Microsoft's OneDrive cloud service. Now, this may not be a big deal, but I did think that I was saving my files locally, and I wasn't. We need to talk about Windows 10 and privacy. There are some very serious privacy concerns that most users are not aware of, and when installing the fast and easy choices, there are many items that are turned on by default, making the user unaware of information they are giving away. I will note that these can all be turned off, but by doing so requires navigating through 10 plus windows and knowing exactly what to look for. So let's take a look at some of these privacy concerns. This is from Microsoft's end user agreement for Windows 10, and it says, we will access, disclose, and preserve personal data, including your content, such as the content of your emails, other private communications, or files in private folders, when we have a good faith belief that doing so is necessary too. Going now on to Cortana. To enable Cortana to provide personalized experience and relevant suggestions, Microsoft collects and uses various types of data, such as your device location, data from your calendar, the apps you use, data from your emails and text messages, who you call, your contacts, and how often you interact with them on your device. Cortana also learns about you by collecting data about how you use your device and other Microsoft services, such as your music, alarm settings, whether the lock screen is on, what you view and purchase, your browse and Bing search history, and more. Now, what does the "and more" mean? That's a good question. So basically, Microsoft is collecting all sorts of information about you and selling it to third-party companies. So after seeing these new features and hearing about these privacy concerns, is the free upgrade to Windows 10 really worth it? Let's talk about that. So as I mentioned, Windows 10 is a free upgrade. It's for anybody using Windows 7, Windows 8, or Windows 8.1, as long as you have a Microsoft license. If you're still running Windows XP or Vista, you'll either have to buy a genuine copy of Windows, or better yet, it's probably time to upgrade your hardware if you really want to run Windows 10. So for Windows 7 users, you have 1 year to do the free upgrade. After this, you'll have to pay the normal rate for Windows, at least that's what we're being told. But what does that mean after the 1 year mark? Yes, Windows 10 will be free after you've upgraded for it. There is speculation, though, that as time goes on, Windows is going to become more of a service, leading to a monthly subscription model by Microsoft. But I'm not going to speculate on this simply right now because that's just a rumor, and all I'm doing is just making you aware of that. If you're running Windows 8 or 8.1, upgrading to Windows 10 will make your life a little easier. It fixes some, but not all of the problems that Windows 8 had, but I do think it's an improvement. If you really like Windows 7, I advise you to stay on Windows 7. This older operating system is perfectly fine for most people, and it's supported with security updates until 2020. Another idea, if you like the new and shiny, and you just want to change from the usual, then maybe Windows 10 will be good for you. On top of all that, one thing that I want to make everyone aware of is that Windows 10 isn't finished. In fact, in October, there is a update that's called Threshold 2 that will be released that's going to give some more features and more functionality to Windows 10. And you may want to wait until October for the Threshold release. Being a part of the Insider program, I have already gotten some of the updates for Threshold 2. That was the update screen that I showed you earlier. I haven't had time to experiment much with that, but maybe in a future video I'll show you some of those features. So wrapping up now, I think Windows 10 is a vast improvement over Windows 8. There are a ton of new features and set this to make it a very easy system to use. So far it seems fast and reliable, and I love the idea of the virtual desktops in Windows. Cortana and other features are really fun and easy to use, and many of these features require an internet connection to get you access to answers that you're looking for. And in my opinion, it's a matter of convenience versus security. Most people would opt for the convenience to be able to do all these things. I tend to lean the other way. I prefer to keep my information to myself, and I prefer to turn all that extra stuff off and just get my work done. And that about does it. Have you tried Windows 10 yet? Tell me what you think. Subscribe, comment below, and join my Facebook page. It's MRP Tech Reviews. Thanks for watching.